It's been a long 8 months without fantasy football. Many tears were shed, but all of that came to an end this past weekend.
And now, your host for the PPL Weekly Recap, Tim.
Woo! Yeah! Thank you. I'm back, baby! That's right, it's time to recap the first week of the PPL fantasy football season. Woo! Alright, hey, what better place to start than the game of the week? Chattanooga Cox versus freaking Froberg. Everybody was in much anticipation to see how Nick Foles would do on Fro's bench. Of course, we all remember that Fro took Foles #1 overall, despite having Peyton Manning as his quarterback. This was the first time we had ever seen a fantasy football owner cock block another fantasy football owner. Pun intended. But how did it play out on the field? Well, that brings us to our first edition of Nickfoleon Dynamite versus Colin Krapernick. Nickfoleon Dynamite had a little rough first half, but he pulled it back together in the second as he ended up with 18 points. While Colin Krapernick, well, he wins by default because he played the Cowboys. Him and his 21 points actually did outdo the 18 points that Nickfoleon Dynamite put up. And could be an intriguing matchup from here on out. It really has no purpose because nobody wins, but hey, it's fun to keep up with, which we will. News came down Monday morning the footage of Ray Rice beating his then fiancée was released to the public and to his fantasy football owner, Willie Linden. When asked if Mr. Linden would like to release a statement to the league, Willie replied, "Yes, Tim. We're ashamed that the Ravens as well as the NFL had made such knee-jerk reaction to a video clip that does not, in our opinion, tell the entire story. I mean, all of this over a black and white video clip with no audio?" He continues, "This is a sad day not only for Ray, but for our fans. Ray has apologized time and time again, and if anyone deserves a second chance, it's Ray. As we are sure that Ray will get his second chance sooner rather than later, he will remain with the organization in his current role as the Susan G. Combe/Mad Goodwill Ambassador." I guess Ray Rice will be staying with something offensive. Well, he's probably going to have to pay some money for that. Anyway, as for Willie's fantasy football team, he took on Adam Wolverton, the Sharknadoes. Turned out to be the most exciting game of the week. And to tell you how close it really was, if you were to imagine every point you get as a dollar bill, so every 1 point's $1, Adam Wolverton came up 2 pennies shy of tying this game. 2 pennies! 2! Question. Why would anybody put Carson Palmer in place of Aaron Rodgers in their starting lineup? To see Cody Thrift get Face Palmer!
Face Palmer, Face Palmer, Face Palmer, you got Face Palmer, Face Palmer, Face Palmer, Face Palmer, you got Face Palmer!
That's right. Despite Matthew Stafford's impressive performance, Carson Palmer put up 24.9 points while giving Larry Fitzgerald the cold shoulder the entire time. All that equals to one thing: Topes win. And now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show: Who Pooped the Bed? Woo!
Who pooped the bed?
You!
Who pooped the bed?
You!
Who pooped the bed?
You!
Who pooped the bed? You! Was it you? Who pooped the bed? Had to wipe your butt with the sheets instead.
That's right, it's the part of the show where we find out which 3 fantasy football players poop the bed as their owners watched helplessly. Our first bed pooper has to go to Dougie Martin. That's right, the Muscle Hamster's performance was laughable. In fact, every kicker in the league outscored him this week. Every one of them. Every single one. Our next mattress turd maker has to go to Michael Crabtree. I thought he was going to have a big game, I really did. But turns out he pooped the bed. One would have thought that a game against the Cowboys in Dallas, his hometown, would have motivated this guy. Turns out all it did was give him the runs in the bed. Finally, our third crap on the comforter player goes to Larry Fitzgerald. Woo! That's right. In what looked like to be a tasty matchup for Fitz, it turned out to be skid marks all over the sheets. Every single one of these players played horrible this weekend as they pooped the bed and reeked of urine. Ah, yes, I love that game. You know, there's two things I know about Roger Goodell. One, he's a horrible NFL commissioner. And two, he's a pretty darn good fantasy football team. In fact, with Megatron, he put up the most points combined this week. It's a team to watch out for, y'all. The two newest teams to the PPL duked it out this past weekend as the Rowdies took on Gotham Knights. Zane was sending some major trash talk by text message leading up to the games on Sunday, while Todd just kind of sat back and waited for the right time to strike. And then he watched the Sunday night game, and it made him pretty upset because he realized, for one, he can't strike back, and two, the tight end, Julius Thomas, that just scored 28 points on him, yeah, a few weeks ago, he was a Gotham Knight. Then he got traded to the Rowdies. And then Todd had to wait for Monday night to see if Brian Matthews was going to do anything, which, yeah, he did not. Really, the only thing going for Todd right now is if they free Josh Gordon. Hey, I hope they do, kind of. Actually, I don't know, The Bad Boys were at it again as Marshawn Lynch led them to another Week 1 win. That gives them 3 Week 1 wins in a row, the longest in PPL history. Hey, that's all we got this week. Thanks for watching and good night.
Thank you for watching the PPL Weekly Recap. This episode was brought to you by Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag that I will clean everything in the house. And Sleep Number Beds. What do the numbers actually mean? I don't know. Join us next week when we find out just how much we hate each other. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the front page poll.